Hey everyone, Fab4 here with some Mechabellum gameplay, and today I got a little bit of a special game for you. I got me here versus Billy Mays, and this is a little special mostly because my opponent here ends up trying to rush out some more factories. So I figured that'd be something a little fun for you to check out and to see how I deal with that problem here. Now, obviously, right here we got a cost control for Billy Mays, so he's getting that extra supplies with attack and HP loss. And I'm running a Farseer Specialist, so getting that Farseer on round 3. Our unit types right at the start, it's not looking super great for me already. Starting off with pretty much all chaff, while the opponent has 2 Tarantulas, means that they can probably clear these out, no problem. Plus the HP on these Tarantulas will make it hard for me to deal with them right away. You're going to see something actually pretty crazy here at the start. We can already see that my opponent picks up field recovery and sells off a tarantula right away. Now, first, this probably doesn't seem like a great idea, because getting rid of one of these tarantulas when I have a chaff heavy board means that he's just going to have a harder time clearing out all of my units. But for most people, seeing this is actually kind of a clear sign that your opponent might be trying to do War Factory, just because the cost to even unlock it and just make one is 1,000 supplies. So he's just trying to get money early on and as quick as possible, as well as also being able to build up chaff. Because we see with after the field recovery, he gets additional supply and grabs more crawlers. As for me, I just grab a couple marksmen because I know that I'll need them to deal with the possible tarantulas slash marksmen that he has. And I set up a little backline here with the Mustangs and crawlers. This way, the crawlers in the front can take the shots of anything, and the Mustangs will be able to kind of sit back and somewhat clear chaff. They're not the best chaff clears, but they can at least do work. And as we can see here, we notice that this right side is actually going to be really strong because of this tarantula. While we watch this left side, we're going to see as soon as these Mustangs with these crawlers take out his own crawlers, they just march right in. While this tarantula is pretty much mopping up all of my chaff on the right side. Though it does look like I come around in the end. The tarantula is a little too focused trying to go to the tower. And my units are able to just kind of clear up the rest of his marksmen. All right, on to the second round here. We get some cards. The opponent here skips right away. And actually, we see he sells off the other tarantula. So now it's pretty much the chaff that I have is just, free roaming. It can pretty much do anything it wants because it can clear out his units and start marching in. For the cards, though, we have an advanced missile, elite rhino, subsidized stormcallers, and assault scorpion. Now, I did say that this is a War Factory game. Though when I first played this, I did not think that he was going to be doing something like this. So technically, assault scorpion, makes him rush in, but the only problem with this is that the range decrease is, especially by 30, is making it so that the war factories in the end will be able to target my scorpions faster. More than likely, advanced missile is probably good. Elite rhinos also a pretty strong play, but I'm not really doing more of an aggro style. Whereas rhinos can be really strong for pushing in. There's a case for these storm callers. Pick this up so I can start lining up and doing storm callers right here in front of my towers. Especially now that we see that he actually grabs sledgehammers and starts lining up in the front. And that's also another kind of sign that he is going to start building war factories, because the sledgehammers are going to be like the cages for them. Like, we got this little tease right here, and that means the war factories can go right about here, right in the middle, or on this left side as well. As for me, with the extra money, I just grabbed 2 more crawlers, set them up on either side, and that's usually, or sorry, I should say Mustangs, not crawlers. Just mostly to deal with the chaff of these crawlers here. The sledgehammers are going to be a little more of a problem to deal with. These aren't going to do very well against them. But sometimes just having overwhelming numbers is more than enough. And the same thing on the left side. We take this out because he doesn't have many units over here. The right side's a little stronger because he's lined up more sledgehammers. against me. All right, on to round 3. We just get some more cards. Intensive training is always strong. Elite Phoenix can be pretty good as well. For dealing with more heavier units, I don't really have that many. I end up grabbing intensive training, whereas the opponent has grabbed the efficient tech and is already instantly doing mechanical rage on his sledgehammers. So even if he wasn't doing warfactory, we can see that he's doing a very strong sledgehammer carry. I do get my Farseer. The big mistake here that I probably made was I should have probably unlocked scorpions at this point, considering that I saw he built sledgehammers. Now, he only had about 3 of them before. So, do I really think he might grab more? The opponent is doing some weird things this game, so it's something to expect. But I end up buying another Farseer, and I level up these Mustangs on the right to kind of help out with this right side so they can do a little bit more damage. And we can see because of that, they do a little more clearing of the crawlers. But again, this right side, just having more sledgehammers means he can push through a lot better than on this left side. Farseer's doing a little bit extra work, but not enough over here. And the round ends about the same as the last one did. He takes the right tower, I guess first this time. But I'm able to just mop up the rest of these units with the Farseer, no problem. All right, on to round 4. And we actually get a unit drop. Now, the first thing I'm noticing, Scorpions. #1 pickup right here. It's just going to be the thing that's going to deal with all of the sledgehammers. There is a reason for rhinos as well. So they can push in and just kind of start walking down the line and just start taking out sledgehammers one by one. The Scorpion's going to be a much better choice here in the end. And we can see that, yep, I pick up the Scorpion. The opponent grabs the Wraiths and sells one of them right away and decides to position a flank on me. No, he sets it up in the front. He was thinking about there, but the problem is I have these Mustangs. They are ranked up. I even got range on them now. As for me, I just grab another Scorpion on this left side, rank up the Marksman. For him, I believe the better choice probably would have been if he picked up the Fangs. He did buy some Fangs anyways to place them in the front, but he could have just picked up the Fang drop as well and just lined them right up here in the middle, just to kind of set up some kind of distraction for Scorpions or even, anything else that I'm going to use to start blasting away the sledgehammers. Now, I got lucky with this missile. I was planning on it more hitting about where these units all converged. But taking out the taking out the Fangs also was a plus in the end. And now we're going to see, we watch, Mustangs are going to be able to take out this Wraith, no problem. And this Sledgehammer is going to just demolish all of these Sledgehammers. Left one struggling a little bit just because it's lower level, so its health pool is a little bit less. But he is still nonetheless able to help wipe out all of the sledgehammers. And now he doesn't even get to the tower, and I'm able to take the round 4 win as well. All right, on to round 5. We get some more cards. The Nano Repair Kit's probably the most outstanding one. I can just grab it and place it on my level 3 Scorpion, and that makes it pretty much unkillable. Billy Mays is grabbing Redeployment, and we actually see he is now picking up his first warfactory. And the reason he grabs this Redeployment is that he can place it wherever he wants, and then next round he can take it and move it over to the right side or even move it over here to the left side. I think he did the middle just to kind of help it, go one direction or the other. But if it rushes down this right side how it's looking, it'll just take less time for it to go to the left as well. And we can see here, if I grab the Nano Repair Kit, place it on the Scorpion over here, rank him up. I Don't grab range yet, but again, I don't even know that he's planning on doing... Oh, I do grab range. So there it is. But I've yet to see that he's on the War Factory. The strange thing is he gets Missile Interceptor, which on War Factories is strong. The only issue is I only have 2 Farseers. That's the only missile units I have. And for some reason, he's assuming that I'm going to grab more. I mean, at this point, the Scorpions are going to be stronger than Farseers right now. And then I also start grabbing just some Fangs that kind of start lining up in the front, just so it's things to distract him so the Scorpions don't get targeted first. I throw down a missile here to take out the Fangs. I was hoping he's going to do the same thing on the left side, but he doesn't. But that missile proves to be very effective anyways as well. We can see the Mustangs with the range now. Even the Scorpions, they're doing work. Clearing out all the crawlers. And now the Scorpion just has free range to start taking out these sledgehammers. Now the War Factory does have a lot of life. 130,000. In some earlier rounds, it's a little harder to take care of. Like, especially if you can get them out on round 4. It can make these War Factories very difficult to take out if you don't have any high damage units. Fortunately, I did have the Scorpions, and we can see that they just demolish the War Factory, no problem. All right, on to the 6th round. Our opponent grabbing Melting Point, same as me as well. Now, Melting Point is probably not the best option for dealing with the War Factory. Now, it can do, very high single damage target, but the issue with War Factory is that their life pool is so high that the Melting Point will kind of get stuck on it for a long time. He also does grab range for the War Factories, and he redeploys them and goes for the sides now. If anything, I probably could have sold the Melting Point. I am going to grab 2 more Scorpions. But the other thing that would have been better besides this is selling the Scorpion and grabbing some acid attack on these. That way, when they hit the War Factory, they'll be walking through acid. Any extra shots after that, especially if you have double shot, the first shot hits, puts acid on the ground, the second shot hits, and now it's doing an extra 2.5 damage. Or 2.5 times damage. So they're doing about, like, on just this level 1, it's going to do about 25,000. Which, technically, against this, that's a pretty good chunk. And then if the other ones are also hitting it, you got to think that's 50,000 per shot. If it has double shot with Acid Blast. And we can even see here the Melting Point's not really doing too much. Getting some sledgehammer, which is alright. We're still taking care of the sledgehammers, no problem. And now we're going to see that we just start focusing entirely on this. And we can see that over here, just these 2 Scorpions are demolishing the War Factory. The Melting Point does get a lock on here. And he's able to take out some of my units over here, but it's not going to be enough. And we're going to claim the victory on this game. So I would say, if anything, the War Factory is a pretty strong strategy. I think he was just a little slow getting it out. And also, he did pick up missile interceptors. I'm not entirely sure why. Maybe some part of it was he was thinking about stopping missiles that were going to come down. He has the tech for triple production. And I think just grabbing efficient manufacturing, and then just starting to grab the production would be more than enough to take care of my units. If he got Phoenixes right away after the maintenance, they would help out with taking out the Scorpions. And then as soon as he got either sledgehammers or steel balls, then they would start being able to deal with the Mustangs in the back. Mostly the sledgehammers, just because the steel balls are going to be a little not as good against the Mustangs. And as for me, instead of keeping up this Melting Point, could have sold it and just got acid attack with a double shot and maybe just 1 more Scorpion, or possibly 2 if I had enough money there. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, go ahead and like and subscribe. And if you also would like to see some live Mechabellum gameplay, I also stream over on Twitch at twitch.tv/fab4200. So you can always hop on over, give me a follow. I try to stream daily as much as I can, and I hope to see you around for some more Mechabellum gameplay.